Welcome back to the channel, and today we will be discussing the Housewives of Potomac, the episode titled Boiling Point.
Mm-hmm.
And I am
Which is the
so,
last,
it's
it's the
the,
last episode, right? Yeah.
no, we have two more episodes.
Two more.
And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
actually happy because I just want to get into the reunion and wrap this season up in a bow.
I can't wait. That's why I'm rushing it.
Yeah. For me, this episode was a mess.
A
It
real
was
mess.
all over the place. Like you have Charisse acting a fool.
So
Charisse had to go
emotional. Like,
outside
girl,
and take a breath.
it was crazy.
Yeah,
Sherry,
but
she was doing too much.
doing team too much. But for this episode I rated 6.5. As much as it was
6.5.
chaotic, it wasn't something to be what should I say? Was all that basically. Um
Mm-hmm.
I would say next week's episode seems to be more spicy because we are going to finally see what went down with that fight scene between
Yeah,
Deborah
Deborah. I
and
call her Deborah.
Kiana.
Deborah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see what that will bring. So we started off this episode basically where we saw Candice and Wendy they met up at Kiana's workplace. And this is why I said Kiana is good for the show. She has a
Mm-hmm.
job. She seems stable.
Yeah.
And she's just, like neutral. She's not coming in being a mouthpiece for anybody. She's just
Yeah.
being neutral. And speaking, I think she's somewhat speaking from what we, the audience, is saying. So I kind of
Yeah.
like that about her. We saw where Wendy discussed the filming of her talk shows, saying that she will be filming the pilot in a few weeks, and she's having a hard time finding her guests because either if they are signed to a network or they're not in Potomac area, so it's kind of difficult for her. We all know that the talk show has been progressing on YouTube, so she did finalize the whole talk show
Mm-hmm. She did.
situation, but
Yeah.
it's like I haven't watched the talk show because the topics are not necessarily what I'm interested in. So I
Yeah, I
have
haven't
not
gotten
really,
to them. I haven't
yeah,
gotten into them yet, but okay. I might go
yeah.
look at it though after this.
Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe.
We saw where Candice says that she is hurt because of the word choices that Robin is using, and that she knows a lot that Robin has said that would be classified as defamation of character. I don't know what you take from that. What do you think that Robin has said that you think that will be classified as defamation?
I don't think there's nothing that Robin had said though. I don't think
Maybe
so.
not on screen, but what do you think
Maybe
she
not on
knows?
screen. I don't know.
But
And
I don't
about in
know.
regards to who though?
That's the next. Maybe other
Yeah.
castmates. Maybe other
Maybe other
castmates.
castmates.
So yeah. The next scene we saw Grace leaving for college. I'm so sorry. I'm happy for Grace going to college, but I
Oh
really
my. It
zoned
was a
out
little
from the
sad
scene.
scene.
I zoned out. I think the scene ran a bit too long.
It was a bit too
Like
long. It was a
it was
bit
a
too
bit
long,
too
but it
long,
was.
and I'm just over Giselle and the same tired storyline. The
Oh
way
my
how
God.
persons can call out Wendy's storyline and everybody's storyline, and that they don't have a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
What's their purpose being here? I like that same energy for Giselle because if it's not she messing in our going in persons' marriages, it's her talking about her children. Like what else is going on? In the words of Nini, what else is going on?
What is this?
The
But it
next
was cute
scene.
though. It was a little
It
cute
was cute
scene.
in the
Yeah,
beginning,
yeah.
but after a while, I
Yeah.
was like, how long are we going to sit and watch this montage of
Yeah, and
her
it
and
was the
her
same
child?
videos like repeating. I was
Yeah,
like,
and then
what's the
this
whole point?
music choice that they use, like they're trying to strike up an emotion out of me. And I'm like, all right, we get it. She's going for school. Great.
Yeah. Yada yada
Congratulations. Not
yada.
downplaying that. But yeah, the scene ran a bit too long. The following scene we have where we saw Robin at Robin's house, and I must say, Robin's house is decorated really, really, really nice. I like
Yeah,
the
it's
layout of
nice.
her house. I
Yeah.
like that neutral tone that she's using. That's the only thing Robin has gotten right, and is the decoration
I
of her house. And I don't know if
can
it's
agree
she
to that too.
decorated it or she found a decorator, but she needs to find that decorator and send it to Giselle's house
Uh,
because that place needs some help. um, we saw where Charisse and Ashley they stopped by the house, and then they discussed Karen hiring Vernon Davis to work her out.
Vernon,
And I
yeah.
don't know why this is a topic of conversation. This
Right.
is
I mean,
why
it's boring. It should have been left in last episode.
exactly. And the thing is, they talk about Carrie not sharing or opening up, and then when she does,
Mm-hmm.
it's now a topic of conversation, which it's not
Yeah.
that important for it to be a topic of conversation. So I think when Robin says that Karen is obsessed with her, I think that it's the other way around. I
It's
think
the other
Robin
way
is more
around.
obsessed with Karen
Right.
because I don't know why are you discussing this, especially with Charisse, who is not even friends with Karen, and she loves to hear that Karen is doing something outside of her
Yeah.
marriage to point back to what she was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
We found out that Charisse is also planning a crab boil and she's planning to invite Jacqueline. And we all know the history between Mia and Jacqueline last season. So this was a nice build up or lead up to see what will transpire between
Yeah.
the two of them. The other scene, which was a nice scene, I must say, for Gizelle, she visited Karen at her house, where,
A
of
nice little
course,
chill scene, yeah.
it reminded me of the earlier days when she used to be close with Karen and they used to have their one-on-ones. And I kind of like their one-on-ones. You kind of get to see a different side to Giselle and you
Yeah,
kind of
the
as
two of
well.
them together by themselves is
Yeah.
always like I
Once it's
love.
another audience or group member or someone
Mm-hmm.
apart there, it's like Giselle feels like she has to be well, not really team Robin, but she's more on this stuck up defense and expecting much
Yeah,
from Karen to give her and I like the scene where it was very relaxed. She seems a
relax,
bit
yeah.
more free. And I think Karen could have observed that as well, where she seems a bit more she's not so
Yeah.
negative, if to put it that way. She then invites Karen to go to Charisse's crab boil. Of course, she tells her that Ray has as
Which is
allergy towards
I feel like she
crabs.
lied. She is
Yeah,
lying.
she
I
has
mean, she just didn't want to go, but like
exactly, but rightfully so. Like, if I am not cool with this lady, and the last
yeah.
time, not really last time, but last season they had a big tiff at the table.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go to this person's house at that? It's not like it's an
I would not
events
wanna.
place. It's keeping
Right.
it's her house, and we don't like each other. I don't know why were they trying to force her to be there, and why was it even a conversation at the crab boil that she wasn't coming? Because first of all, Sharice, yes, you may extend the invitation, but I think for me,
Mm-mm.
she's just trying to find some moment for
She's
producers
the
to bring her
look.
back full time next season.
The season is coming to an end, and she wanted to get as much camera time as she wanted
Yeah, and
to
she
get
wants to be
because she
invited to
didn't
the
get a lot.
reunion. And she
Yeah.
wants to be invited to the
Right.
reunion
She
again.
wanted
So,
Current to come so they could have a little back and forth like Mexico.
yeah, it's ridiculous at this point. We
Mm.
saw where she also, Giselle then told Karen that Charisse is planning to invite Jacqueline. Everybody is friends with Jacqueline except Mia.
Mm-hmm.
And not even that could bring Karen out to go
Mm-hmm.
to go there because she was like, "Yep, no, I'm sorry. Let me know how it goes, but I'm gonna see." And look, rightfully so. Luckily, she didn't go because we all saw what went down
Right.
at that crab boil.
Right.
The following scene we have where we saw Charisse's crab boil, and Charisse was discussing, of course, Karen not coming and the whole allergy for Ray. And at the same time, we saw Mac in this Party City crown, and I'm like, girl, what are we doing here? Like,
Just
this
dumb.
is why you don't go here. This is why you don't fit in. Like, why are you wearing this slash and crown? And then every time you keep chiming in, talking about you're here to serve the people,
You're to
like
serve
the
the people.
people.
Like you're playing into this way too much now. Like, come
Yeah, and
on.
it's becoming corny because, like, okay, we did
Right.
it. And then the thing is, when she got crowned, she acted as if, like, yeah, she's a bit too young for this, or being young to be called a grand
Mm-hmm.
dame, but whatever. But then you're here walking around with Scott. I'm not even surprised if she's not going to carry that crown to the reunion.
I don't know if you noticed, like Giselle didn't even acknowledge her. She was just using
Oh,
her there and then in the moment in DR just to get on Karen's nerves. And she
yeah,
don't care about that. She's on to the next. She wasn't even
exactly.
entertaining her over there. So like, come on now.
we saw Mia then arrived, where of course Jacqueline was already there, and of
Mm-hmm.
course she came and she said hi to Jacqueline. Jacqueline was a bit shocked because I guess maybe where they left off, she wasn't expecting her to say hi. And this is the thing, at least Mia could come and say hi.
Look, Mia is
Where
a realist. Okay.
yeah, we then saw where they were trying to bring up the situation and it wasn't something that Mia wanted to discuss at the
And
table.
that's how you handle a situation that you don't want to have a conversation about.
Exactly. Then they
Mm-hmm.
went down to the basement, I will call it that, and they had
The
their
basement,
discussion
champagne
about
room.
her basement to discuss what went down between their friendship. And of course, we saw in the previous episodes where Mia was saying, based on what happened in their childhood regarding her
Yeah.
alleged assault, she
Mm-hmm.
basically kind of put the blame on Jacqueline because I
Because
guess
she brought her there. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So she's in therapy and she's seeing where this is maybe the reason why. And I'm glad that they had that conversation and they could reach to a place. Like yes, they weren't able to hug or anything like that, but I'm glad that they
Mm-hmm.
had that conversation, like mature adults, and reach to a
Yeah.
place where they can actually try to move
Like
forward
Mia
on.
actually handled it well. Even in her confession when she said she wasn't mad that they brought her there because she knew that they were still friends with her even after they had their little breakup. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I see
So
you.
that was a bit, yeah, I like
It
that
was mature.
scene and it was really good. We then came back to the table where Charisse and tries to bring up again. I don't know why every sit down dinner scene they keep bringing up
She is
this
messy.
Robin and Candice situation.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that is where we got the Charisse moment where she said, "I'm going to make this."
Stop it.
Yes, yeah, she's going to make her mark so she can bring
Mm-hmm.
back her. She did it
Yeah,
last
this
season,
is she was
but
like,
it
this is
didn't
her
really do
moment.
anything. So she said, "Let me do it again this season."
This is
So
her
I can.
moment.
This is her moment, and of course she was a bit drunk. We could tell
She
because she's
was
yes,
drunk.
and she had her moment. We found out in this scene where Candice said that Robin sent some private text messages to some blogger, and this is where it shows how Robin is a bit contradicting person because you're here talking about Candice bringing things to social media and you're here sending private
Yeah,
text messages to bloggers. And I think that's the same
yeah.
thing they were complaining with Monique about in previous seasons about her sending private messages or
And her
whatever to
excuse
bloggers.
was she's trying to explain why they're not talking
And this
anymore.
is
But
why
like,
Candice
who
said
is
the
this
line is
person? Why do you need to explain yourself to this person?
apparently they are both
And to the
mutual friends with the blogger, but
mm,
I'm like,
right.
this is why Candice said the line is always moving because you're
Mm-hmm.
here saying that she carries things to social media and whatever the case
Right.
and whatever. And then you're doing pretty much the same thing. And not because you're owning up to it makes it right. So you can't be calling
Mm-hmm.
out someone for something and you're pretty much doing the same thing. Like it's just ridiculous to me.
Double
But
standard.
yeah, it's a double standard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then we saw where, it still got heated. Charisse decided to go outside and take a breather.
She needed that.
Again, her moment. She said,
I
"Hey,
mean, she had all that build-up anger waiting for Karen. That's why she wanted Karen to come. But because Karen did not
right,
come,
come
she
up."
had
She
to
took
like
it
let it
out.
out somewhere.
Yeah, and then she pretty much went outside to have another moment, scene for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like, I'm like,
and then
girl, are you okay?
Candice took up
Is
her
something going on?
Candice took up her bag and said, "Oh, I'm bowing out." While
Yeah.
I'm sure Giselle was loving this back and forth between Robin and Candice
Mm-hmm.
because she
I'm
just wants
sure.
to prove whatever point she has regarding Candice. And of course, when Candice was leaving, she was like, "Good night to who matters," which I don't wrong you because at this point, why would we say good night to people who? And you know what's funny
Mm-hmm.
about the scene? She said good night to each individual person who she rocks with, but then
Yeah.
she still said good night and she says to
She
who
did.
matters. But that shit was hilarious. But this episode for
Hilarious.
me, like, oh my god, it was so
At this
all
point,
over.
I'll give it like a 7.5.
7.5.
It
How
was
much you guys
okay. It
rate it
was
again?
funny. You gave it a 6.5, six and a
Yeah,
half.
I'm gonna leave it
Yeah.
right there still.
You
Because it's the same conversations. Like, I don't know if
yeah.
you watch Bowl and Bougie, which is a Carlos King show.
I'm
Like,
just starting getting into it.
that show is so good. It's not
Mm-hmm.
manufactured beefs. These persons will have a issue right now, and probably in the next scene they resolve the issue, and the show continues and progresses. This
Yeah.
season for me, it's like we're in episode 16 of the season, coming to the end, and we're still complaining about stuff from episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what more do you guys have to bring to the show? I want
There,
to see
there
what
wasn't
next
no
season is going to be.
resolution, and
There's never a resolution.
the
It's
so-called beef dragged out throughout the whole episode, the whole season, and like that's
exactly.
crazy.
I'm hearing the reunion though was mostly about resolutions. So I'm praying to
Wow.
see the trailer and see the actual reunion to see if they actually um
Resolve
resolve
anything.
anything
Yeah.
basically, and they hopefully resolve, come to some understanding or something, so next season if they all are coming back except Neka, thank, and Robin, if they all are coming back, we don't have the same going into season 9, the same beef from season
Boring,
6 pretty much.
boring beat. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so I don't know what Potomac needs to do or what the producers needs to do at this point, but I really hope they actually work on this. I hope the reunion actually came to really had some resolution. I know that's what they're teasing, that it was about
Yeah.
resolving and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just praying to see what it brings. But that was my feedback or our feedback on the episode.
Yeah.
Let me know, guys, in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the episode. Who would you like to see back next season? And please remember to like, comment, share, and also
Subscribe.
subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you
Yeah.
next week as we'll discuss the next episode of Potomac. Bye.
Bye, y'all.